Hi there. I'm going to be talking a little bit about Squier guitars in this video. This is a Squier Strat Affinity series, which is second from the bottom of the barrel as far as Squiers go. Only the bullets are cheaper and lower end. I want to talk a little bit about how they're made and what you can do to improve them. Now, some of you are going to say right off the bat, don't try to fix up a guitar like this, just get a better guitar. And certainly if you just want to play it and not mess with it, obviously just get a better guitar. But if you're like me and you enjoy tinkering with the guitars and seeing how they're made and seeing how they fit and making other parts fit, that's part of the fun for me and for a lot of other people. So this video is more for people like us. But there are some problems inherent with this guitar that I'll get to anyway, that some of you may not be able to get your head around. Or not, won't be able to get past the shortcomings. Number one is it's thinner than a standard Strat, and that's noticeable. And the neck here at this end is definitely thinner right here. It has small frets also. So those are the inherent problems that you can't fix about this guitar. And if try one in a store before you pick one up and make sure it's what you want. Compare it against something better. So let's talk about some of the other good points, I guess you could say, about this guitar. According to the parts listing for this guitar, because Squier gives model numbers for every single part on here, they list this as a bone nut, not a plastic nut. And I actually scraped it with a bit of sandpaper, and I could almost smell that dentist drill. So it's probably really a real bone nut here, which is kind of a nice little bonus. The fretwork itself is pretty good. I can just very lightly feel each fret as I go along. I'm certainly not cutting my fingers or anything. I would give this fretwork, a 7.5 out of 10. It's pretty good. The frets, the neck is straight. The frets are all level. No problems there. And the neck to pocket fit is great. We can all thank computer-controlled milling equipment for that. They churn out a perfect fitting parts every time. Now, the tuners use a stock 10mm hole, so there's all kinds of replacements you can get if you want. But the tuners I find are pretty good. I took one out here, and they're sealed and they're solid. This does not feel like a cheap piece of metal. And there's no play. I can't detect any play in this tuner at all. It's pretty impressive actually for being in a guitar of this price range, and I'm not going to change them actually. The things, of course, you have to change are all in here, and that's mainly the pickups, these three pots on the back here, and the switch, the 5-way switch. They all work right now, but they're pretty sketchy, and there are some problems with them. The first two pickups are okay, I found. I hated the back pickup, the bridge pickup. It was way too screechy, trebly, and thin sounding, and I really, really hated it. The pots are all 500K, which you don't want in a bright pickup like a single coil. You want 250K. I'm assuming they put these in here 500Ks because it'll make cheap amps sound a little bit brighter. That's probably why they do that. In any kind of decent amp, it just makes it shrill and overly bright. And the pickup switch, although it does work, it does not feel like it just feels sketchy. I would just replace it for $12. I should get into the prices, by the way. Switch, CRL switch is about $12 online. 250K CTS pots are about $5 each. And you want to probably replace the capacitor. It's a little thing that goes on the tone control there. You can get these really cool looking orange drop things on eBay. Much better quality. I don't know how much of a real difference it makes, but anyways, I think that's $1. So I mean, if you're ordering the parts, you might as well just add a couple of those for $1. So even the pickups were GFS vintage Alnico staggered. The staggering just means that the pole pieces are different heights. These dots here are all at the same height on these originals, and the newer ones have different. The middle ones are higher to go with the curve of the neck. So I'll talk about the original bridge that came with it. Pretty substantial too. It's not cheap metal. Like, it's probably not the best, but it's actually not too bad. The curve in it, I'm just trying to get this so that the light will catch it. The curve right here is actually it's actually bent. It's not one piece of metal welded to another like on some of the really cheap ones. And the bridge saddles are solid. They're not. There's no holes. You can see that's a solid chunk of metal there at the end, where that rounded part. The cheaper ones will just be a piece of metal bent into that round shape. This is milled into a solid shape. And they actually feel substantial too. While I was at GFS ordering stuff, I ordered a set of bridge saddles like this to replace them, and I'll try them and see. But the originals weren't that bad. These were they were only $11, so I just decided to do that. One upgrade I decided to do was to replace the block. For those of you who've never seen a tremolo apart, the bridge saddles kind of sit here on top of this little piece of metal, and this part underneath here goes inside the body. That's the part you don't see, and the strings actually feed in the bottom there. That's the part that you put the strings through at the bottom. And the original one is here, and it's very cheaply made piece of zinc. Some people say that affects the tone. It makes the tone sound thinner. And GFS actually makes a replacement block, and you can see that the GFS is significantly thicker and bigger to give it a better tone. I haven't heard it yet, so I don't know. I can't say. And the nice thing, one nice little bonus thing about ordering this block, because that's the part that the arm actually screws into, the tremolo arm. Even though this bridge fits a Squier and this block fits the Squier and the cheaper bridges, it's milled out for an American arm, and the American arm has a different size threads on it, so you can actually get the better arms and put them in there. They'll fit now on your cheaper guitar. I kind of like the way they're bent. The American ones have a better bend in them, I find. It's much more comfortable and intuitive than the Asian ones. And I ordered some of these at GFS while I was there too. They're like $3 for an arm, so I got 2 of them because they always get lost. Here's the pickguard and all the parts I got. These are the GFS pickups. I already mounted them. The CRL switch here and the CTS pots, 3 of them. And I went. I also ordered some pickup covers at the same time, and matching knobs and the tip here, and actually the tremolo arm tip too, different, and it matches those. You probably can't see it really on the camera, but if I hold it up and compare it to the other one, see, yeah, this is what I saw on the web. You can't really tell the difference, but that's white. Everything is really bright white, and it looks really sterile and kind of boring. This is actually mint green. It's kind of like a dirty green color. And this is called vintage cream, and it looks kind of just like a dirty old cream-colored Strat, like it's been sitting in the light for 30 years. I'm not really into distressing my guitars. Some guys go nuts with that stuff. They'll put fake scratches and stuff. I don't really care about that. And if you've never taken pickups apart before, it's actually pretty easy. The cover just slips right off. These are the original covers from the GFSs, and that just literally just pops off, and you put the other cover right on and then screw it in. Of course, you have to unscrew it from the pickguard, but you can see the color difference between the original and the vintage-looking one. And there's all kinds of different colors you can get. You can get black. You can get all this stuff in black if you want. One other upgrade that I'd probably do is on the back of this pickguard. You can see right here where all the electronics are. They put silver tape down there, metal tape, to as insulation, shielding, I guess I should say. I'm sorry, against static. You definitely need this for single coils, which pick up static from everything. Eventually I'll cover the whole back of this thing with shielding tape, and then I'll shield all inside the cavity here too. So all down in here, this will all be covered with silver tape. And in here too, probably. And you connect them all. You run a piece of tape up here onto here so that it contacts with the pickguard when you put it down, and then you eventually send it to your ground.